Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another exciting edition of Psychic Sundays Live with your host, the Queen of Booga Booga.
Psychic Sally Diane.
Oh, did I miss that last part?
Well, yes, you did. You got the important part anyhow. It's been a long week, especially for the producer. He's a little tired, so we decided we get started early so we can get done early. Okay, and I actually have some email this week.
Woo!
Yes, so we're going to start with one that's it's a serious one, and I hope you're out there, Karen Guy, because I'm going for you first. And Karen writes, could you please tell me what my father's true feelings are for me? Estranged for nearly 35 years. Oh, I am so sorry. That's a long time to be estranged from your father. All right, so let's see what the cards have to say about that. Karen Guy and her dad. So, how am I in the placement of the cards?
Yeah, not bad. Top right one could come in a bit. Perfect.
Okay.
Maybe a little up.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's see what the cards have to say. Well, at the heart of him, he loves you. Sometimes love isn't enough. I mean, when you got 35-year estrangement, there's something going on there. But if you wonder underneath it all if your father loves you, yes, he does. Okay, so yes, he loves you. He actually thinks about you because you have the Queen of Wands here. So I think that in his heart, he's hoping that someday you'll have a reconciliation. But then, after all that time, when you're estranged from somebody so long, the longer it takes, the harder it is to reach out. And I think this is what the problem is. Because you've got the Five of Coins reversed, as we look at it, and what he puts on the outside. And on the outside, there's a wall there. And there might be a little bit of shame because he feels like he's on the outside looking in. I wonder if he knows he's failed you. But then again, you get to shame, you get to complacency, you get to procrastination, and all that. And all that is here. But your question was what are his true feelings? His true feelings is that he loves you. I don't know why he put off seeing you or acknowledging you for 35 years. But like I said, it's one of those things that the longer it goes on, the harder it is. And I hope that you can find some reconciliation there. And we did get a second letter. And the second letter is from Cindy Cowton. And Cindy says, "Hi, Sally. Hope you are doing well and staying warm up there. Florida is awesome. We are enjoying every moment of sunshine." Oh, brag much? I am glad that you're enjoying the sunshine. We have had sub-zero weather up here. It has been frosty, frosty cold. It's starting to warm up a little bit now. But not like down in Florida. I'm glad that you're enjoying the sun, by the way. You deserve a vacation. And my question for tonight is, should we return to Canada the end of April or a couple weeks sooner? Well, let's see what the cards have to say about when you should return from Florida. Now you have the Temperance card here, but somehow you were talking about being in April, and Easter is in April, and you have you have John the Baptist and Jesus there, and the dove. I think that they're telling you yes. Okay, so Nine of Swords and the World. Okay, so Nine of Swords. So I think they're telling you you got to give it about 9 weeks, and this looks like the first weekend in April is Easter, and I think the cards are saying that you should come back for Easter, and you've got the World here, and the quote unquote snowbirds do have the best of both worlds. They can kind of enjoy all 4 seasons without freezing their cojones off in the winter. So yeah, I would say early April for your return from Florida. Okay, so we move on to we move on to
The High Priestess.
a high priestess.
She would
Wants
like a rune reading
reading.
on finances.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And anybody who would like to have their question read right at the beginning of the show, like Karen and Cindy did, all you have to do is send your question to me at the Queen of Ooga Booga at gmail.com. And I will answer your question first. So we move on to High Priestess, who has asked for a rune reading on financial stability. That feels, oops, right there. See what's slipping through your finger. Okay, so, and when I talked about slipping through your finger, one of the runes seemed to kind of slide through my finger. It was Oscilla. It's one of these runes that are turned over. And Oscilla talks about grounding. It's called homeland. It's called, it's talking about the things that anchor you. Sometimes it can directly mean a home, but and when you're talking about finances and that one thing that's sliding through your finger, I don't know whether this is the ability to buy a home or the keeping ownership of your home. But somehow that's something that you need to focus in on a little bit better. First off, you asked about your finances, and the first thing you get is Pertho, which talks about the unseen, the unknown. But there's always potential there. Sometimes that rune could talk about pregnancy, but of course, we're talking about your finances, and finances is definitely a place where we would like to direct fertility. So right here, it looks like you do have some potential financially that you haven't seen yet. This one, Ansus, talks about ancestral God, but talks about taking the advice of your elders. And I really get a feeling about your mother here. And she may have given you financial advice along the way. And something about her perspective on finances is something that would benefit you a lot. So give some of the things your mom said a second look. And then you've got Suelu, and Suelu is the sun. It talks about happiness and joy. So it looks like as you travel forward in the year, you get more joyous around your finances. There are some, like I said, right now, you're not seeing the whole picture. You're not seeing your whole potential. See, that's the one I was talking about before, the grounding that falls through your fingers. And this algas, which is the tree of life, and it talks about bringing things down to earth. It also talks about blessings. Basically, what this reading is telling you is that you have more potential for financial growth than you realize, and that it's time for you to get your perspective straight. You might be taking too short of a view on finances, and if you don't already own a home, it might be good this might be a good time for you to get together a plan on how to buy a home of your own. Talked about taking the advice of your mother. Things get. I think that you're getting slowly better financially, but you're not really going to feel like you're really doing a lot better until summer rolls around. And where you're headed, the runes say you'll love where you're headed. So you're headed in a good direction. Take your parents' advice. Be grounded. Have a goal. Have a goal. Have a direction. But overall, finances don't look too bad. It's never about money raining down on you. It's always about making it happen. Okay, so you do have that potential.
Next, we have Angie, who wants to know about her future husband.
Ooh, okay. Insight into the man I'll marry and when I'll meet him. Okay, we can do that. So, LOVE, or I assume LOVE for Angie. Let's see.
Well, it could just be LUST too, though.
You don't need a ring for LUST. Oh, then again, it depends on who you are, right? Interesting.
Slide the middle one up and all of them over to your right. One up.
I always have that middle one down a little bit.
Then pull the other ones up.
There. So anyhow, we are looking at Angie and marriage. And the Hanged Man is telling you, you need to be patient. It's talking about, it's giving you asked for a win and it's giving you 3 years. But right in the middle, it's telling you why. You've got this this Knight of Swords reversed. And it's basically telling you that one of the problems you have is you want to be, you think you want to be married and have stability, but then you keep getting these guys that are projects. You're not here to heal the world. And you get these guys that you have to fix. And it's time for you to be a little fussier and be happy, say, okay, you can be in a well-grounded marriage with good potential within 3 years. But you gotta quit picking these losers.
L for love.
Yeah, that's right. And other than that, be a little bit more patient. These guys that are in a big hurry aren't the ones you should go for. The misunderstood ones. They aren't misunderstood.
They're not?
Mm-mm.
All right, well, that happens. Rainbow wants to know,
will Spirit help me prevent Chris from messing up my progress as far as staying sober? Well, I know it's complicated, Rainbow. How many times have you asked about this, Chris? I think that you should ban Chris from your life.
he's part of your addiction.
Yeah, he is an addiction. I don't even need to look at the cards, honey. This guy is an addiction in and of himself. He's got a good hook in your heart, and he's keeping you from looking, you're staying there waiting for him to get better or waiting for it to get better. I don't know why you're not moving off of dead center. I think you've waited long enough for him to improve, to come back around, to be whatever it is you need him to be sober, help you to be sober, and none of those things have happened. It's time for you to write Chris off. But I know you're sitting back there going, well, you're just lecturing me. We'll see what the cards have to say about Chris. Tower, the Devil, Ten of Swords. Let's see. Yeah. This is what the cards have to say about Chris. The moon, he's got a lot of secrets. A lot of secrets. That's not a good thing. I don't get this one. This one doesn't make any kind of sense. I mean, these two guys do, especially the Seven of Swords reversed. That's an exceptionally nasty card. But you got this Ace of Pentacles right in the middle, and I don't think that's about Chris. That doesn't match any of the energies I've ever gotten off of that guy, but it does match you, Rainbow. You know, you may not quite feel like it now, but you're on a good path. And Chris is not part of that. You just, you're starting to recognize how toxic he is. But the problem is that he's purposely toxic. It's to his advantage to keep you weak and to keep you dependent. Because as long as you're weak, as long as you are weak and dependent, you will put up with his bullshit. You will put up with being ghosted. You will put up with being gaslit. When you're sober, you're a little bit harder to fool. Don't forget that. Stay sober and choose different friends. Choose wisely.
Well, there you go, Rainbow. Hi, Callie. Well, thanks for coming back.
Yes, welcome back.
Callie wants to see her granddaughter.
Oh, wow. Grandbabies are the best. Okay. Callie and her granddaughter.
Don't worry, Princess Nee. We'll come back to you.
We will. Okay, Callie and her granddaughter. It's funny. It's like you guys have a blast together. And it seems like other people's problems are creating this. So my guess is there must be a divorce going on because there's a lot of confusion around that, a lot of dissatisfaction. Did she say when she?
Nope.
Oh, will I see my granddaughter? Yes. Yes, you will. I don't know what's going on right now, but really it's kind of one of those things. It impacts you, it impacts granddaughter, but it doesn't have anything to do with you really. So that's why I think it's got to do with custody issues and stuff like that. But yes, you will see her before the end of the school year.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, back to Princess Nee.
Hi, Princess Nee.
She's looking for messages from her spirit guides.
Well. So the first thing that your spirit guides want to tell you, this is a good time for you to be adaptable and moldable, like mutable. And they're talking to me about skills and ability. It's kind of like you're not thinking outside the box when you look at the things that you can do for yourself. And you have a much nicer package of skills. So be adaptable. Be willing to change and transform a little bit in the short-term future to take advantage of changing situations around you. And they're just showing me rocky water. So I know that things are changing and maybe changing quicker than you're really able to adjust to them. It's also saying that things always happen when you don't look at them. Like if you're looking for love, the thing you need to do is focus on work. if you're looking for a promotion at work, what you need to do is focus in on your social life. Your guides are saying just do things a little contrary right now. You have a fairly good summer in front of you. This is a funny way to put it. They say that you can trust 90% of your friends. Keep that in mind. Okay, so who's next?
Suzanne wants to know when she's going to get paid first.
When will I have a first paycheck? Okay. Oh, there it is. Okay, so first paycheck for Suzanne. They're telling me to use the runes. Okay. Suzanne and pay. There it is. Okay, it feels like there's a little bit of a delay there. And I wonder if maybe your checking account information is correct or something, because it feels like an unavoidable delay, because you would expect to see your pay down here, not up there. Let's see what we got. But overall, have you gotten a new position or something? Because it tells me that people who like you have somebody's put in some good words for you, and it looks like you're on a path to do something that you love right here. You basically have a pretty good summer, so because this algus was separated, I think it might take you a little bit longer to get your paycheck. It just feels like a little glitch. So maybe you can avoid that by double checking all the paperwork before you submit it.
And next we have Basic Lover, who's looking for a potential love reading. Not an actual one, just a potential one.
Okay.
I think an actual one would require kind of a flashing siren over a guy's head.
Okay.
You know,
Potential love reading. Okay.
an LED sign pointing right at his head.
I'm the one. But I don't know when we first met. Now,
You could warn people with that.
but it was so cool.
Yeah, sure, but you know.
Aww.
They can watch some of the old videos to get that story.
Aww. So anyhow, a basic love reading. That's an interesting card to flip over. And I'll tell you why. Because it rains, it pours. And it feels like you've got a little bit of a dry spell, especially when they say that you still have some things that you have to resolve. And they're giving me a 2. So I think we're talking about February and maybe into March. You're still working out some issues. But when potential comes, it comes in 2s. And this is, you are going to have to make up your mind. So you do have 2 that come into your life, just both at the same time. That sounds like fun, actually. But it does look like it does look like you're going to have a fun summer. I just wouldn't juggle 2 for too long. But there you go. Potential lovers looks good for the summer. Okay, so.
And next we have Suzanne again. Max wants to know whether his grandparents are coming to see him in Kitchener.
Well, they love you. Of course they're going to see you.
Well, grandparents driving in this kind of weather. We've had a lot of snow, slippery conditions, so they might not be coming just because of the weather.
Yeah. Well, let's see. When are we going to see the old folks? feels like Max has some stuff coming up in the spring. Yeah, yeah. Always right. It looks like, yes, they're going to come up and see you, but it's going to take them until June. It feels like your grandpa's got something going on with his legs. So they're just, it's not just the roads. It feels like he's got he's got to be up for the drive and really up for spending the time with a little guy. Because as much as we love our grandchildren, sometimes it's hard to keep up with them. But they,
Hello today.
oh, short little arms.
Just for today.
Yeah, I know. Weird, eh?
Stephanie Peterson is looking for messages.
All right. Oh, High Priestess, I love runes too. They do tend to be very blunt. See, you're thinking about the first thing runes ever told me.
No. I'm reading a question. The answer I got. We'll get to that.
Okay, so any messages for Stephanie? Okay. Now would you like me to pick up the Drashka seed for the messages? Your guys are telling you that you're too nice. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being nice. We all like to be nice, and we all like to think of ourselves as being nice, but it feels like you might want to say no to some people. You're being taken advantage of under the guise of just being nice. There's a limit, and you need to start setting boundaries there. Okay.
And our next question comes from Christy.
Hi, Christy.
Do you see my boyfriend proposing? Yes, but not to you. Does he have a side piece?
You are evil.
Let's see what the cards say.
Let's see what the cards say. Sorry, Christy. He comes from this world too. His dad was quite the famous psychic, Peter the Great. He was better at sending people away from his table than I was. Dirty fingernails, you're out of here.
He just didn't want to read everybody.
Okay, so. So, Christy's boyfriend proposing. Interesting. Okay, so I'm going to focus. This card right here kind of says you already know the answer to this question. And I really think that the answer to the question is yes. Even though right now he's kind of saying like he doesn't want to get married and all that, he's thinking about it more than he lets on. He would just like to be able to surprise you with it. He loves you. All right, Joanne. What the cards tell me about the apartment I viewed on Friday. Will I get it? The apartment Joanne viewed on. Yeah. Yes. Yes. It feels like maybe they're checking everything out or whatever. And the only reason I say that is because when I look at this moon card, I get the feeling that you're not going to find out until the next phase of the moon. So that's like a week and a half. It takes them a week and a half to get back to you, 9 days. But overall, they do like you. So your answer is yes.
Woohoo! Who's next?
You know, I wonder if that's a married couple with the apartment that you're looking at, because I get a feeling of a he and a she. And, you know, he's the big booming voice and she's the little bitch behind him. Oh, did I say that out loud? No, nobody
Pretty
heard me
sure
say it.
she would describing me there. Okay, 1025. Is my friend Mohi jealous of me?
Oh,
And later on, 1025 asks if my friend Gigi is jealous of me.
wow.
Well, don't you think a lot of yourself?
Oh, dear. Okay, so what's going on with top 25's friend Mohi? Do we got jealousy problems? Do we have gossip problems? Do we just have girl problems? Well, she can be a little selfish and shallow, but she seems to like you. Ooh. Let me take that part back. She can be a little selfish and shallow to some people. Some people she's nice to. Maybe it's what they would call transactional. Okay, what the cards say. Real clear. She's not really jealous of you, but she would steal your boyfriend in a heartbeat. With pleasure. So,
Don't leave them alone together.
absolutely.
Next, we have Stardust C is looking for messages from her spirit guides.
Will I get a raise this year for my boss? Okay, Stardust C is looking for messages from her spirit guides and a raise from her boss. I guess it's better than the other way around. A raise from your spirit guides and a message from your boss.
Well, it all depends what kind of raise the boss is going to give her.
Yes. That wasn't American Sign Language. Sorry, folks. Okay, so your spirit guides do have a pretty specific message for you because you carry a lot. You carry a lot and you carry a lot, but you don't ask for anything in return. It's kind of like you give up front. This would be a good time, even though you feel like maybe out of a sense of loyalty or whatever, that you wouldn't look for another job. Your guides seem to think this is a really good time for you to look for a job. Because it really feels like you're in the kind of place where they're going to string you along and get as much work out of you for as little money as possible. And you just deserve better treatment than that. So there you go.
And next, we have a vet who wants to know about the rest of February. Welcome, all newcomers.
Okay.
Welcome back, all regulars.
Event in February. Oh, there we go. Got some pretty high-powered cards here. Okay, so overall and for the long term, you're putting things into motion in February. You might have an opportunity for a new job or a promotion or something along those lines, because I'm seeing you kind of get a handle on things and get a direction. But I also see that some of the things that you put into motion here in February don't come to full fruition until you reach this September. So through the month of February, this is kind of a long-term planning month. And that's backed up with the Queen of Coins reversed. And it just feels like everything you're planning in February is basically for a payout months in advance, but that sounds like the right thing to do with February. So don't look for a big payout in February, but look to set yourself up for a big payout late summer, early fall. Ain't bad.
Okay. Let's see.
Well,
Who is next?
See, I'm sorry your parents' basement got flooded. Ugh.
Okay, let's see. Da-da-da. Who is next? Thinking. There we go.
Christina, 28.
Diamond Girl 25, 225. What's coming up for my love life this year?
Oh, there we are. We'll start to see. I'm glad your mom was on her toes, too. Okay, so we're looking at Diamond Girl 225. And Diamond Girl 225 wants to know about love, you said, right? There we are. Found it. What's coming up in my love life this year? Love for Diamond Girl 225. So far, so good. Ooh, so far, so good. All right. Oh, Diamond Girl 225. Yeah, you've got love coming your way. I would say that this is something that starts in the spring, and it might start out as a little thing, but by the time you hit July, you guys are going full force. You guys are just moving right ahead and making long-term plans. So yeah, I think that love goes very well for you this year. Look forward to having a very good summer. And also a little warning, be careful about your birth control, because there's babies on this path too.
Okay then.
Yeah.
Christina's daughter, Amber, would like to receive messages from her guides.
Oh, Grandpa doesn't drive anymore? Yeah. Okay, so that makes it even harder to get from Burlington to Kitchener. Okay, so we're looking at messages for Amber. Messages for Amber. Amber's guides are really driving the point home about confidence. And so this is a time for Amber, even if she doesn't feel confidence, to exude self-confidence. They just keep saying walk tall, and put that out there. Also, Amber kind of, she's still learning the lesson that everybody's going through something. It's not just her. So confidence is very important. So she needs to have confidence in herself. She also needs to avoid people who undermine her confidence.
Okay. Marcy. That would take a couple hours on its own. Knowing about my dad. Woo.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Too many lives there.
Mm-hmm.
Jennifer would like messages. It's a theme today.
Okay. So let me find where Jennifer is. Oh, there we are. And this would be Jennifer Bessie. And Jennifer Bessie wants messages from Spirit. The Spirit's saying that you can get a lot with a smile right now. So it looks like things are kind of going in your favor. They're saying make sure that you smile and use your charm a lot. This also might have something to do with your love life, but it just feels like right now you're in a phase of life where you're attracting things. You're attracting. So if you want a new relationship, go out there, smile, make eye contact. If you want a new job, go on the interviews. I don't know why they keep trying they're talking about how good things are for you, but they keep saying to smile, to smile, to smile. So smile. Okay.
All right. You know what time it is?
Pick 3.
Time for this week's pick 3.
And this is so everybody gets a reading of some sort or another.
So how this works is Sally will draw 3 cards. You pick one of those cards ahead of time, and that will be your reading for the week. The coming week. Not the one we just finished.
So we have card number 1, card number 2, and card number 3. So which card did you pick this week? Card number 1, card number 2, or card number 3? If you pick card number 1, then your card for this week is the Ace of Wands reversed. And the Ace of Wands reversed there talks about potential, but it seems to be under a barrel. So you might have a hard time getting things started this week. You may have a hard time mustering up motivation. So this is a week for you to make yourself be active and make yourself be motivated, or at least pretend to be. But don't let opportunities pass you by just because you're feeling a little low energy. Don't show it. Okay. Did you pick card number 2? Well, if you pick card number 2, then your card for this week is the 10 of Cups reversed. So this is a week. Now, the 10 of Cups is usually a very happy card. When it's reversed, it does talk about the happiness falling out or being a little bit delayed. So this is a week to do some planning. This is a week for you to focus in on your happiness. But don't expect to fix everything this week. But I think you can take some of the first steps to mend some relationships this week. If you pick card number 3, then your card for this week is the Knight of Cups. And the Knight of Cups is somebody who is charming, a little naive, and very helpful. And so you have such a person around you who will support you and help you, whether this is a friend, a family member, or lover. But you have somebody in your court and on your side this week, so you do not go through the week alone. Okay,
Oh, that's that.
that's that.
Next. Christy also on Spirit Guide messages. That really is today's theme.
It is. It is.
And it makes for such great video.
I know the pendulum, and it just seems like that's where the messages come from is the pendulum, and I'm sorry it's not quite as exciting as the
I'm gonna have to set up a pendulum cam.
No, can they probably can't really see much.
Nope.
Yes.
They can see half your hand.
Yeah.
And you really should be pulling that back a little bit.
Well, I'm getting the idea of gather up, gather up, gather up. So your spirit guides say this is time for you to be kind of putting things together and organizing them. And when they're talking about gathering up, they're actually talking about information. So maybe this is a time for you to do more research and a little bit more detective work before you commit to anything. Okay.
Woo! And next we got... Hi, Marianne. Welcome back. Hi, Glenifa. Welcome back. Stardust T would like another question.
Another one.
True love. Will I find true love this year?
True love. Oh my goodness. True love.
Only if you move out of the basement.
Step one.
Only if you move out of the basement.
Yeah. But finding is just step one. It has to be nurtured and just about the time you think you're going great guns, something's going to happen to make you fall on your face.
It really just comes down to who can you put up with the most.
Sometimes it really is.
Who is the least annoying?
Okay, so true love for Stardust C. Whoops. Okay, so it's interesting that these two cards fall out. And fall out reverse. So there's this idea of maybe unrealistic expectations. You know, it's saying that don't expect to be Cinderella and be as easy as going to a ball or having a fairy godmother. Stardust C. You can get what you want. Interesting. Okay, so you wanted to know about this year and love. And it does feel like it's like between September and July. So I would say right toward the end of the summer, August, of course. It does say that you'll find what you want, but it's kind of, you'll find what you want, but it's not going to be how you pictured it. Okay, so you need to keep your mind open. But yes, you will find something that brings you into balance. And there is that idea of going to see the preacher here. So this idea of long term is all here. It's just saying, get rid of the Cinderella fairy tale princess kind of view of love. It's coming around in July, and that's when the work starts.
Yeah, it's a lot more like the fairy tale of New York.
With pizza rats?
No, the song.
Oh, okay.
You know it when you hear it.
Yeah, okay.
They played all Christmas. It was controversial even.
Oh, okay.
Lost track.
Okay, so we're past Stardust Sea. And Marianne wants to know what's coming up for her this month.
There we
Hi,
go.
Gonifa. Okay, so Marianne in February. Okay, so the first thing to tell you, Marianne, is remember no man is an island. So it's saying, this is a month. Don't try and carry it all on your own. If you need help, ask for it. Relationships are interesting. Yeah, there's this lack of patience here. Boy, I just want to get one more card on that. Yeah, yeah. I don't think this is going to be a good month for relationships, Miriam. It just feels like there's a lot of impatience and a lot of things that are tearing relationships apart. And then there's that idea of don't carry everything on your own. There you go.
Glenefa.
She just wants a message for this coming week.
At work.
Yes. This week at work for Glenefa. What do the cards have to say? Oh, that's it. Ooh. Good, good. Okay, so we're going to overlook the jealous coworker because you will have a jealous coworker. And the reason for that is because you're going to have some choices put in front of you. You're going to get some acknowledgement, and it doesn't feel so much like it does feel like a change of jobs, but it feels more like a title than a promotion. So there's not a lot of money, but there's a little bit of prestige and there's a little bit of change around responsibilities. So it does still feel like a polished apple, if you will. And it does feel like it's giving you, it feels like you're being given acknowledgement and more choices and doors of opportunity opening for you. And like I said, as things are going good for you this week, you got a jealous coworker. Not your circus, not your monkey, but sometimes jealous coworkers can make things uncomfortable.
Okay, next we have Angus wants messages.
And, oh yes,
Yeah.
oh yeah, Christina 28's son, Angus. Angus wants to get on this too. Any messages for him from his guide? And I'm just going to go right along with the sorry, I'm not pulling the seed out again. Oh, that's an interesting one. It came flying out, and you have the four of swords reversed. And the four of swords, when it's right side up, it talks about a period of rest and relaxation and kind of recuperating. But when it's upside down like that, it's saying, hey, wake up, come on. So this is time for him to pick up his head, open his eyes, look at what's in front of him, and, get on with it. Whatever he's procrastinating about, stop it. So let's see what else Angus's guides have to say to him.
Geez, you really sugarcoated that one.
Oh, I sure did. Yeah, but you see, even when you look at that page of wands, with the Page of Wands, that wand is turned upside down. And if you figure it like a match, it's got to be flipped up. So it's, it's time for you to stop thinking and do. And you get that both with the Page of Wands and the Page of Swords. And life is sending him all kinds of messages. I don't know whether he's getting emails or mails or calls, but he's getting all sorts of messages. And he's just kind of not moving ahead, and he really needs to, because this is a year where he can ground himself well financially, and he can put himself on a path of financial stability. It's just a matter of quit procrastinating. No more procrastination, no more excuses. Good luck to you, Angus.
To summarize that, he needs to grow a pair. We don't have any other questions.
Okay. I plan on booking a reading with you soon. Oh, that's awesome to hear, Christy.
Well, why don't you tell them how to do that?
I would love to do that. All you need to do is call the spa near the tracks at 519-272-1293 to schedule an appointment in person, or you can send me an email at thequeenofoogaboga@gmail.com, and we can schedule a reading online. Uh-oh. Oh, he's 13. And so he's not doing his homework. Okay. Yeah. Well, 13-year-olds do need to be kind of wake up. Okay.
No more questions?
Oh dear.
Yep.
Okay. So, and we are coming close to the end. Another thing about the readings, you can visit my website, sallydiane.com, and I've started to list my upcoming dates at the spa right on that website. Sometime later this week, I'll be putting up dates for March. I do have some dates still for February. I think there's 2 or 3 dates open in February, and I know I still have appointments open on those days. Yeah.
Indeed.
Yes, and another thing about my website is that I have articles there for you to read. There's also all kinds of information about your Queen of Ooga Booga.
All right. Marcy wanted to know about my dad, Peter.
Oh, yeah.
Peter started doing psychic fairs in 1985. So 1985 was when I started hanging out with all these psychic freaks. And in Toronto at the psychic fairs, that was a good description of some of them. But all really very, very nice people, yeah.
Oh, best.
Some of them, yeah. The really scary looking ones were the nicest.
Oh, yeah.
So, all these years, was we talking about their 38 years, something like that?
Yeah.
You pick up a few things over the time.
Yeah.
With my dad, you always knew where you stood. And he was both respected and feared for that.
Yeah. Well, I remember the one fair that we went to. That was the one that we got kicked out of.
Yeah, okay.
And, there was a whole thing. And there was this whole thing. And the promoter pulled him outside and actually pulled me, stand next to him. I think he was afraid of you. And he thought your short little girlfriend was going to protect him. Anyhow, he starts telling a story. It's just the way this guy did it. And Ollie just goes, "Get to the point." And so he did. He says, "The point is, you're kicked out, and I don't want you to come back to my fears again." And when we walked out, he tells the story to Lee, who was like the top psychic. And she just looked at Ollie and started laughing and saying, "You're just like your dad."
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And then there was a fair that we met at.
Yeah. Too many psychic fairs.
Oh, yeah.
Known too many psychics, lost too many.
Yeah.
Lost contact with too many.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of the old school, I will be doing another interview for the Third Eye View, which is a Rogers cable access show out of Kincardine. And so I think the last one I'm doing is the last interview I did will be airing on the Rogers programming next week, and that would be where I did the interview with Lynn and Pam. And I'm sure a lot of you remember Pam. She's stood in for me before right here on this show. So it was the three of us. And on Wednesday, it's just going to be me and Lynn. It was going to be Richard Ravenhawk. I know y'all remember Richard Ravenhawk too.
But he's unavailable?
He's unavailable.
Oh, next time.
Next time.
Yep. Busy man. Got to make the moolah.
Yep. Okay. So, everybody, we started early and it's just about that time.
It's that time.
It's that time. So, tune in again next week. Remember to like, subscribe, tell all your friends. So as soon as we get enough subscribers, we'll have a community bulletin board, and then we can talk all the time.
Yeah, because we're too lazy to start a Discord channel.
I know.
Okay, that's it. Have a good night, folks. Have a good week.
Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.